Hello.
Hello? Hello?
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Curiosity Cove. I'm Veda.
This is your trusty captain speaking, and today we're doing a
The
year
year in
in
review.
review.
So, we're going to
Oh
talk
my
about
god.
our years, the podcast year. Yeah, just a little bit of
Can you believe
reflection.
that it's been 2 years since we said let's do it?
I know. I think the most insane thing to me is that I was worried we weren't even going to last like half a year. And now we are 2 years deep. And I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm ready for another year.
I didn't think that I'd want to continue after the second year. Like, I thought this would be the year that we'd dawdle off, like, wind
Yeah.
down. But because like the first year I was just so excited to do every week
Mm-hmm.
and like just chat. But now I'm like, you know what? It wasn't that bad. I kind of feel
No.
like it was very number one, the biggest play I think we did was switching the days.
Yeah. I
Freeing
agree.
up our Friday nights was definitely the play.
I agree.
And it doesn't impede my life at all.
Yeah. And it's just like a nice little like bi-weekly chat. And like I love
Yeah.
because me and you obviously operate within the same friend groups. So we get to catch up a lot like in a group setting. But it's
Mhm.
such a fun like cheat code for me to just be able to hang out with you one on one.
Yeah, literally. I love it. I just
Hmm.
love just I don't know. I feel like the 2 weeks thing really opened up a lot more time for it to have a nice balance of, I don't want to call it work, but podcast versus life.
Yeah.
Like that I can have something else happen on a Tuesday that doesn't line up with podcast. But even if I need to do something after podcast, we don't take, it's not 4 hours of recording. So
Right.
it's always like I can still have availability to do stuff. And I love it. I
Right.
do. I like the vibes.
Yeah, me too. And so I like as everybody listening to us, we like well, I guess by week, fortnight by fortnight. Um
By Fortnite.
we not only switched to like these dates and every other week, but we also switched to the format of not everything is structured. And I think that helped a lot
Yeah.
too because for
Mhm.
me, our first season with school and work and this, finding time to actually commit, and my artwork, finding time to actually commit to this to do like as much research for something or as much preparation as I wanted to was really difficult. So having that like tiny little bit of weight taken off of it makes me feel like I could do this for, till we're 90.
Till we're 90. Yeah. I agree. I feel like with I do I do like our structured days when we do decide to do them, like our
Yeah.
curiosity corner, but there are certain times where I'm like, "Oh, it feels so nice that I don't have to sit down either the night before or the week prior and make sure all this research is done because then it felt so tedious to me and it sometimes like we had good topics that I was interested in, but then there was some where I was like I was doing it for the topic itself and
Yep.
then it felt
Yeah.
like
Because
I
realistically,
don't.
I think one of the struggles that we probably never talked about, but both felt was we would pick a topic, be super excited to do it, and then get into it and be like, actually, I don't know if I want to talk about this. And I feel like
Yeah.
I never brought it up because I was like, I always waited until like, 2 or 3 days before, anyways, just so it was fresh
Yeah.
in my mind. So then I was like, well, it's too late to switch it now. So yeah, I
Yeah.
feel like there were a lot of changes that I feel like we made from first year to second year that I really liked. And for all we
Mhm.
know, there might be changes made from second to third year. We haven't actually talked too much about it yet. But
Yeah.
I think
I'm not going to spoil why we're giggling, but just before
fuck
we
you,
went live,
man.
I fucking texted Veda and I was like, oh my God, bitch, this.
XYZ. And I said,
And,
oh, so we'll talk
and she
about it
was
after
like,
the podcast.
oh, so after podcast talk? Or I was like, yeah, I guess. Fuck. It was such a last minute thing that
Oh
I
my
texted her
god.
about. We have time, don't worry.
Oh, for
But it's
sure.
just like a, oh, fuck. And it was so funny. Yeah.
Just like things you don't think about.
Yeah, literally.
But yeah, I don't know. I like our day. I like having Tuesdays be podcast day every other week. I like our time. Like I like being able to get home, dinner, podcast, rest of the night is mine. So
Yeah.
I think I'm happy with the choices that we made. And anything that does change, you guys just keep in mind it is so that we can continue to do this for you and we don't burn
Yeah.
ourselves out.
Literally.
Yeah,
I don't ever want like podcasts to feel like a chore.
I know. Yeah.
And I'm
So,
so glad it doesn't. Like
yeah,
that the
me too.
switchover made it feel easier on like
I'm so
IRL.
happy to look forward to these the way that I do now because I looked forward to them before, but I didn't look forward to every single one, right? And so like I'm now excited for every single episode that we do, and that's a great
Hmm.
feeling.
Yeah, I do like it a lot. And I know we didn't have too many co-host guests this
Hmm.
year. It was little spotted around, but I think I kind of want to try and see if we can get some more people.
Yeah, I would love to have some guests for 2026. Which
Yeah, specifically on
keep
April
in
1st.
mind,
Wink
yeah, wink,
wonk.
wink, wonk. Be there but don't be there. You know who you are. um,
Yeah.
so there is in the Curiosity Cove Discord, if you guys are in there, which you should be. There is a little chat where you can actually talk about what you would want to talk about if you came on as a guest star. So if you have any interest, guys, just saying,
True. Put your name in there.
submit yourself. Wait, that sounds so bad. I don't mean it like that. Um,
Editor, scratch that, please.
cut that out.
Yeah.
Editor's just me.
I know. Literally makes a note, scratches that
Yeah.
out for later. Oops.
What time are we in? 12 minutes, 29 seconds. Cut that.
Got cut that, cut that.
um, excellent. Well, yeah, I was gonna say, how was your day? Did you work today?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
How was your year though? I don't fucking care about today. I really don't. I was
Okay.
looking so forward to talking about year in the review on podcast. Anything prior is ass. It wasn't even
That's
that bad of
so
a day.
funny.
I
I
don't want to
said,
talk about work. I want to talk about how's it going.
how was your day? How was your year? Oh my god. My year was wild. Started off. I mean, like I think I started off the year pretty great though, because between getting closer to the friends that I have and finally having people like get into some of the stuff that I'm into that I felt like I didn't have anyone to talk to about. Um, cough cough F1. Uh, but like getting to find another like place in a community that I thought that I wasn't gonna get to was really nice. So that was like a big highlight of my year. Obviously, it's a little foggy for me anything before May-ish. But I still remember like a few really big like great things. I mean, got Nelson. I mean that was a hell
True.
of a highlight of the year. So yeah, Nelson just turned 1 on the 23rd. He's 1 year
Freaking
old now.
crazy.
So incredible. I can't believe it. Um, and so we got him March 1st. So from March 1st until now has been the happiest my life has ever been. Um, barring April and May because that was rough. But yeah, that was a highlight. I feel like I got to see a lot of movies this year that I genuinely enjoyed, so it was a good year in movies. A lot of music came out that I really enjoyed. Good year in music for me. Good year in TV for me, whether that be like discovering old shows or like I got into From this year and that's like quickly become one of my favorite shows. So like on the media side, it's been good. Got a dog, that's good. My job is going good. I feel like I worked a lot on myself this year, which is really nice. I,
Yay.
yeah, I got to hang out with people a lot more this year. Like our friend group got towards, I want to say, the later half of the year for sure, got a lot better at like getting, but it was like we weren't so great at getting together, and then we had a little span where we were good at getting together, and then we went back to not being so great at getting together. But
Yeah.
I'll take that brief, like everybody was able to meet up and hang out and do stuff for what it is. It was very nice. Um,
Mm-hmm.
got to road trip down to see my parents, so that was a good part of the year. I think if I were gonna give it like a rating out of 5, I would probably give it like a solid 3.5. I think,
Okay.
yeah, I think there was some really shitty things that happened this year, but all in all, like at the end of the year versus how I felt at the beginning of the year, I'm feeling good. So I like I'll give it a little bump.
I'm glad. I think
Mm-hmm.
a whole point should be doxed for your
That
fourth and
is,
fifth month of the year.
yeah, mm-hmm. Yeah, mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But
The other half
overall it doesn't
point,
sound too bad.
yeah, the other half point literally just comes from like the stress of school and job. And so I
Yeah,
mean
like
like
juggling it.
if I didn't have my hospital stint, this would have been a really great year for me. Um but I even with the hospital thing though, I feel like I came out of that so positively. Like I came
Yeah.
out of I mean I had this horrible like I mean it sounds so dramatic and I promise you I'm not being dramatic, but I had this like very near death hospital stay that left me in control of my health with a blank slate on like from that point on I got to choose where my health went, and so I am healthier now. I came out on top of that. Not to mention I left that hospital knowing that there's more than a dozen people that have my back through anything, right? So I mean those are two really big positive things to learn in a year or to like
Mm-hmm.
gain in a year. So, yeah, that shit sucked, but there was a really nice silver lining to it.
That's fair.
Mhm.
I think that's a very respectable way to think about it instead of like just having the idea of like, oh well, being in the hospital sucks, this
I
sucks, and like
nearly
trying
died.
to like
My mom
literally look on the bright side of it.
my mom literally thinks it's so great because I'll tell people, I'll be like, oh, well, I was hospitalized for a bit. And she'll be like, you were literally on death's doorstep. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, like, it was rough,
Yeah,
but
but it
we
was a
got through it.
bit.
Yeah.
It
And
was for a bit,
she's like,
mom.
you just explain it like it's nothing. And I'm like, well, because I'm alive. It's not anything, right? I mean, like,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's fair.
But I never want to discredit. I know how worried she was because of my condition. So like I
Mhm.
never want to discredit that, but I keep telling her I'm like you shouldn't stress about it. It's in the past. We're through it. I'm healthier than I've ever been now because of it. So I mean,
Yeah.
like let's move past it and just take it for what it is. It was a like a fresh start on health and my life and my like fitness and nutrition goals and good. We're there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad.
Yeah, thank you. How about you? How was your year, Beach?
Um, I don't really do good about like reflecting about like the beginning of the year because it feels like such a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
But I do feel like the beginning of the year was quite rough for me. In the respect of like um some friendship stuff going on,
Mm-hmm.
and then early on in February I lost two close people to me, so that sucked. So that
Mm-hmm.
was bam bam right away. But one of those instances did bring up talking to a friend I haven't talked to in a very long time, so that was something I appreciate. um Middle of the year? Well, then I also got worried about you for April and May. I visited you
Mm-hmm.
quite a couple times.
Which forever grateful for that.
Yeah. I don't really remember. Oh yeah. This was during um the whole planning thing of the event with my brother, so there was that. So I had to go do that in September. So that whole lead up to it was just there was some unnecessary stressors that was coming from it, which worked out anyways. Middle of the year in the summer, I feel like I had quite a bit going on. Did my 2.0 debut, so that was good.
Yeah.
Um I totally forgot about that. And then when it
Mm-hmm.
came up in the fucking, I was doing my reviews of the each episodes. I said something about it, like I teased it, and I was
Mm-hmm.
like, "Damn, that was really that long ago. That's crazy." Um, then I don't really remember if anything crazy happened in August.
I feel like the like summer into fall era of the year was very like, mm, I know, like
Yeah,
nothing happened.
yeah. So then I guess that jumps us into September. The event happened. And then afterwards, I mean, Halloween in like September, like those 2 months, October, September, were pretty nice. I love the weather during that time, so I feel like I got a little pick me up from my little what's it called? Seasonal depression, so that was nice. I
Mm-hmm.
moved out in July. I guess that would be one
Oh
big
yeah, that's
thing.
a big, big thing actually.
I totally forgot. I just
Actually,
jumped through June to
now
August and I didn't even think about it.
now that you have been out on your own for a while, how are you liking it? Is it like
Um,
ups and downs?
Personally, I like there are ups and downs for sure. I think personally, I do like that I moved in with somebody,
Yeah.
but there was still like a part of me where like I think I could have just said fuck it and just figured out how to do it myself.
Mm-hmm.
But I think mentally, I think I would have struggled a lot more
Yeah.
without having someone to not depend on, but to like ask questions, be there for me if I needed something or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So that was definitely interesting. I think it took a really big um adulting step for me, which I wasn't exactly thrilled about initially, but I do really enjoy that I got to find out more about myself as an independent person,
Mm-hmm.
like going out and like figuring shit out myself. So I really appreciate that. I
Yeah.
think there's still a lot to learn, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
but I think it's a nice change of mindset and change of pace.
Yeah. Well, I remember we had a talk about it when you had your initial like well, I don't want to say hesitation because you had already moved out, but like your initial like, oh,
Regrets.
I don't know about this kind of deal.
Mhm. Yeah.
Um I know that we had a talk about it, and like I said then, because it remains true, I I think that the first time that you truly like go out, live on your own, not because you're away for school or away for like an opportunity with the expectation of moving home one day, I think the first time that you go out, it's one of those things where you just get through it. And then at the end of it, after some extended period of time, you look back and you're like, damn, I did not know I was capable of this, but I did it.
Yeah, that's totally fair.
Yeah.
Ugh, I just I didn't think like at the time, obviously before moving out, that I would do. I still have some doubts about it to this day, and I've said this to you as well. That
Mm-hmm.
like I didn't think I would do a good job,
Mm-hmm.
like being out on my own. And there are some things that I'm still balancing, but at the
Yeah.
time, I just thought like, oh, I'm doing a shit job at this. I'm not good at this. I'm not good at that. But like I have to. And you said give yourself some grace because you haven't done it before.
Yes.
So you can't just like bag on yourself all the
I did say
time.
that. I remember that now.
Yeah, you said give yourself some grace. And I was like, you're right.
Yeah.
Like, because I'm feeling down on myself for being mad that I'm not doing something right
Yeah.
or at least somewhat in the right realm.
But the thing you have to remind yourself of is that you did something incredibly brave, and it takes an adjustment because
Mm-hmm.
technically, when you're in a position where you don't necessarily need to take that step towards independence, but you do it, That's
Mhm.
a really brave thing to do because it's you're choosing to leave behind convenience to be more independent, be on your own and everything, right? And so it'll be the same thing if you ever go to live alone. You're going to take that step to leave behind the convenience of having somebody else in the house, of having, somebody that you can depend on and doing everything yourself. And during
Yeah.
those moments, like we have to remember that we're allowed to be human and we're allowed
Mhm.
to not be great at everything and we don't have to be perfect and it's okay to hate that you can't be perfect, but it is reality. And you have to remind yourself like you're doing the best that you can and you're doing a lot more than some people would do and you're doing okay. You're always doing as long as you are putting in effort towards whatever you are doing, you're doing just fine.
Mhm. So I think that I know it was a little bit late for that chat in like
Mhm.
that I was already spiraling prior, but I definitely feel like talking it out with different people as well and
Mhm.
getting their 2 cents definitely made it feel a lot better. And then that brings us round to like the past 2 months or so. And I won't lie, both my middle November onwards, I know it's been crazy and I know I haven't streamed a whole lot either, but I've been doing so much IRL stuff and like
That's
talking to
great.
like friends I haven't made friends with before, like haven't like renewed that friendship in a while and like
Mhm.
chatted
Rekindling
it up.
friendships,
So I
yeah.
joined an IRL D&D group with some of my
I
buddies.
love
We've
that,
got
by the
our D&D
way.
group. Yeah, it's been a blast. I got to tell you about the campaign sometime. This shit's
Yeah.
hilarious. But I've just been going out and like doing movies with like my family. I've got like we've gone out to dinners a couple times before
Mhm.
movies. I've just obviously with the holidays getting like see family members I haven't seen in a minute, and so
Mhm.
that was super nice. And so I think if I had to do it out of five, I I think I might just have to put it at a 3.5 as well.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't like that mediocre that I would put it at a 3 or lower,
Mhm.
but it wasn't like above and beyond that I would put it at a 4.
Right.
So I
I
think I'd
Mhm.
actually probably put it at a 3.25 if I had to,
Mhm.
just because my mental slipped quite a bit
Yeah.
and the beginning of the year was really rough.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that's where I'll sit it at.
I definitely think that the only reason I think I would, because my original number was probably going to be like a 3, like smack dab. I guess it's not technically in the middle, but it is in the middle because it's not like we do zeros. Um,
Mhm.
but yeah, I was going to put it, try like kind of put it smack dab in the middle. And I think I gave myself the little bump just because the opposite. Like my mindset has been on such an upswing since halfway through the year. And yeah, I don't know. There's just like a few things that I'm just like, damn, I like if you had asked me to do this a year ago, there's no way I would have like the confidence or the drive or the whatever to do it. And for some odd reason, I just like it just lit a fire under my ass to be a better human after all of that.
Mhm.
So I think that is worth at least like half a point, you know?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
totally fair.
Yeah. But I would say a 3.25, we're still on the upswing. Yeah. We're still,
Anything above a 3 is above the
yeah,
upswing.
exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
I'm putting this out there now before we do our recap on Curiosity Cove throughout the year, but the overall, I don't know, the overall vibes in 2025, though they were not bad, I want them to stay here. And I
Yes.
really, really, really hope that 2026 is kind. Like,
Yeah.
I am looking for nothing above and beyond, but I want it to be better than 2025 was. Because there's certain aspects of it that I would rather let it die in 2025 and just continue to move forward in the positive mental attitude aspect.
Yeah.
And I just feel like for the past couple years, I've just been saying, like, I want to say since 2022,
Hmm.
just be like, I'm taking the L on this year. I'm taking the L on
Yeah.
23. I'm taking the L on 24.
You
I
know
took the L on
what?
25.
You know what I think I've decided moving forward is that
Mm.
rather than saying like next year is going to be my year or blah blah blah, I keep saying next year is going to be better. than this year. Point
Yeah.
blank, it doesn't need to be the best year. It doesn't need to be my year. It just needs to be, I just need every year to be a little better than the previous one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if we break even, we break even, but I'm trying
I was about to say, if it's
to.
a 3.25 matching, then it didn't get worse, I
Yeah.
guess.
But if you don't catch me saying 3.2 next year, or that's a problem.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, for our year in review for the podcast, Cap was of true MVP and skimmed
I went back
through.
and watched every single episode, skimming it through on our YouTube, which you can find at the Curiosity
Now,
Cove podcast.
for context, y'all, I went through the first two episodes, said fuck this, looked at the titles and the descriptions, and I moved on.
I had no time. I closed on Monday and there wasn't enough time for me to like genuinely enjoy playing video games with people. So I just wanted to be in call and just like chat while I did this.
Hmm.
And it was almost on equal playing field. Like I had a good time just chatting and catching up and then doing what I needed to do for the podcast. And I was giggling at watching some of the stuff from the podcast anyway. So I was having a blast.
Hell yeah. I love that. Um, okay, so I think if you want, what we can do is if you want to go through uh like each episode and just give like you said you made like kind of cliff notes of episode by episode.
Yeah, each one has about like 4 to 5 sentences, roughing and they're not full sentences. They're like fucking fragmented sentences of like what happened each one. Like for
Hmm.
example, for season 2, episode 1, the first sentence is 3 words: Marvel rivals addiction, because the first things out of our mouth after "How was your day?" was the skins we were excited for, the new battle
It's so
pass,
funny.
and how
When was
much we
the
were
last time
playing.
you played?
Uh, May,
Yeah,
maybe,
I think
maybe.
I think I okay, so again, everything before April, May-ish is a little fuzzy for me. But I remember the very beginning of the year being so addicted. I was like, I'm going to play this shit all the time. I'm so excited. This is new Overwatch. This is going to be so great. I love it. I love it. And then I feel like a month or two went by and I was like, okay, no one's on this anymore.
Yeah, but like that kind of makes me sad. I
Hmm.
kind of miss Marvel
Do we
Rivals.
get
I
back into
liked
it?
it.
You want to get back into it?
Why not?
Why
I
not?
don't got a shooter game.
Why
Why
not? Let's
not?
do it.
I'm in.
Okay.
All right, guys, ready for January Curiosity Cove
We are going to go
2026. The first
into
episode is going to be Marvel
Marvel
Rivals
Rivals.
Addiction.
We're going shot for shot 26.
Oh shit.
Oh my god.
The next part is then us nerding out about the Marvel
Cinematic
comics universe,
universe.
the cinematic universe, excuse me. And basically we're doing like side by side versus the comics versus the movies that are out, talking about
Yeah.
the characters within Marvel Rivals. And then this was the month where they released the Until Dawn trailer for the movie
Oh, so
that we have now hate watched,
right.
but also got placeboed in a way where if you don't watch it for the fact that it is an Until Dawn movie, it's bad. But if you watch it without the connection to Until Dawn, it's good.
Yeah, so I've
Ish.
decided,
I think the
okay,
acting's still ass
I watched
sometimes.
it. Me too, but I'm going to give the explanation that I honestly at some point did we even ever talk about it or did we gloss right over it just because it was so eh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't, I don't know that we ever actually ever actually discussed it, but I watched it for the first time alone, right? And I was like, all right, fuck it, we'll put it on, we'll see what it's like. And watching through it, I was like, I mean, there's like aspects of it that feel like they could be somewhat Until Dawnish, but this really kind of just feels like Happy Death Day without the birthday thing. or like
Honestly, if
without
the
the
therapist wasn't in it, it has no correlation.
literally and that was so I was like
Or psychiatrist, excuse me.
I tried to give it a little bit of the benefit of the doubt, and I was like, no, I just can't. And then I watched it again with my brother,
Hmm.
and when I watched it through the second time, because I had already gotten over that disappointment, I watched it and I was like, actually, this is kind of good. I just like, you just can't, you gotta think that it's just a movie named the same thing as a game. That not that they're
Yeah,
directly related, they just share the name.
literally. If
Yeah.
you don't have any attached to it
It
and you're okay with
literally,
subpar acting here and there, it's fine. The
it
plot makes
has
sense.
it has the acting of like a 2000s introducing
Yes.
actors horror movie. And
Which, if you like that shit, you're in.
yes, yeah. And see, and
Mhm.
that's the thing is like I grew up on those, so I was like, oh, this does kind of give me like a tidbit of nostalgia like watching it, but not because of the game, just because of the types of movies that were coming out when I was like, in elementary and middle school that I was watching.
Mhm.
So I mean
Yeah.
like it really did. If you disconnect the name Until Dawn from it, it does jump up like 3 or 4 points for me. Now, when you attach Until Dawn to it, the score is like a 2. So I mean, you're still not very far up, but
Yeah, it's very bad
yeah.
if it's Until Dawn related.
Hmm.
Um. Oh, right after that, about midway through, we're going to go talk about TikTok because it was going through the ban in
Oh,
January.
right.
And so we both said, well, speaking of TikTok, at the same time, and then we started talking about the ban going in place, which then we detoured to talking about the LA fires that were happening.
Oh
And
yeah.
then randomly at the end, we got into Veda's neighborhood watch going boom, boom,
Boom,
boom.
boom.
So we
That's
jumped
so
around a lot at the end
funny.
of that episode.
I want you guys to know that the big 5 booms joke happens all the time for us. Well,
Yes.
did I tell you about we were me and Tomo were talking about when we're playing Arc Raiders, like if we down somebody, we're just gonna before we knock them out, we're gonna be like, we you get big five big booms for you, boom, boom, and just start knocking them out.
That's perfect. Holy
Yeah.
shit.
But yeah, that has stayed around as an inside joke, I think, the
Oh
entire
yeah.
year without
The
fail.
neighborhood watch thing is my favorite. It's referenced later as well.
Yeah.
I can't remember where, but when we'll get there, there's another part of the neighborhood watch that's mentioned, and I thought that shit was hilarious.
Yeah. I mean, it is a very highly entertaining, like, it's not even its own app. It's just like a feature of my Ring doorbell. And it just,
Literally. And people fucking
people
troll
are
on
just,
it. Like what?
I just love how everybody's a fucking troll. It's so funny.
That jumps us into episode 2. Um, in the beginning, I don't even know where this happened. We just randomly got on topic for about 15 minutes about us talking about, probably about 10 minutes actually, about us talking about the difference between how our personalities is perceived online versus how they're perceived IRL. And I
Mm.
thought it was so wholesome because like we're genuinely like no, like me and Veda are the same people in person. It's just it might be dialed down in person because we have to put on a level of masking or persona
Hmm.
for stream, for podcast.
Yeah.
So it's just a little bit slightly different in person,
Yeah,
but it's the
because
same person.
Because I would almost even argue that we are the same people, but a little dialed down off podcast versus on podcast.
Yes.
I think that the only difference, if any of you are listening and then jump into a chat with us, you would probably be like, oh, you guys are like a little bit more relaxed than you just were on the podcast. Because I really think that that's the difference is we're giving you guys all the energy that's left in the tank.
Literally,
Yeah.
you have to be entertaining. It's
Yeah.
like, and
We're
I'm
not
not
gonna
saying we're faking it, but
but
like you
like
have to give a little something to keep people entertained
well,
or
and
locked
we've
in.
we've had moments where it's like, I mean, I'm definitely a victim of this because weekdays are a lot rougher for me than weekends, where I've been like, yo, Cap, I'm just like, I just can't do it today. I don't have like the energy or my mental's in the gutter or whatever. And
Mm.
we're like, oh, okay, Wednesday podcast then. And like it has
Yeah,
happened because the last thing that we want to do is come out here and give you guys anything less than like 95% of us.
literally.
Yeah.
Or if we're having like a rough time, but we just need that extra 30 minutes or an
Yeah.
hour and
Push
we
it
just
back.
push podcast back,
Hmm.
it's enough.
Yeah.
It's enough just to get the mental state in
I
order.
will say I think I'm proud of us because I do think we've found a really good balance between like knowing when to push ourselves to do it. For example, you guys, today I banged my face against a door frame about
Mm,
45 minutes ago, right
yeah.
before we were supposed to start this bitch. But that is fine because I take Tylenol. It's kicked in, by the way, so I'm fine now.
WW.
But, things like that, it's like, okay, no problem. Now, if, say me or Cap come home from a long day at work and it's like we had a mental breakdown because work was really stressful or because something happened, there
Mhm.
might be a message of like, hey, can we do like 7:30, 8 o'clock tonight? Because I need like a nap or I need to just like chill out or I need to go for a drive or do whatever to like
Yeah.
recuperate the spoons that I have lost today that I didn't expect to so that I can have them for the podcast.
Yeah.
So just to give you a little insight of why we push it sometimes, that stuff does happen. And I know you guys all respect that we are human and that kind of thing. It's hard when you're doing a live podcast. When you're doing a recorded one, you pick a different day to record it, it comes out on the same day. But for you guys, we do everything live, which makes it a little more difficult. But I'm happy with I think the balance and acceptance that we have found because in the beginning I feel like it would have felt like the end of the world to have to move a podcast and now it's like yeah, you need 10 extra minutes to make dinner, do it. We'll just, tweet out that we're starting 10 minutes late. And like it's
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
So big up on us.
Yay, big up, big up. Oh, this is when the Jurassic World Rebirth trailer came out.
Well, we already had our piece on that.
Yeah, we talk about it later too, so I'm not gonna go too far into that, but that's
Mm.
basically where we watch the trailer and we're trying to predict what would happen, and
Oh,
then we're ultimately let down.
were we were
Um,
we wrong about everything except for Jonathan Bailey having his moment with the
that
dinos?
was it.
That was the only thing we
Yes.
were okay.
That you're like you wanted someone to have the
Yeah.
awe about dinosaurs,
Yeah.
and that was Jonathan Bailey, and also that we loved his slutty little glasses, but
Yeah.
that was already a given. And then for some reason, right after that, I think we mentioned. Oh, we went off on a really big tangent. We started talking about war
Naturally.
movies,
Oh yeah.
specifically Unbroken
Oh,
and
what a
Hacksaw Ridge.
good oh my god, two incredible movies. Oh,
Yeah.
can
So we
we
talked
add
about those for,
those?
and then the spin-off after that,
Can we
actually.
add those to
Not
our
spin-off, the second
list
movie.
for like
Yeah.
just as like good rewatches?
Yeah. I
Oh
haven't
yeah.
seen Unbroken in a minute, so I'll definitely add those
Yeah,
too.
me either actually.
Um, oh shit. We went into another spiral of talking about Sebastian Stan and Tom Hiddleston.
Oh, very oh my god. Okay. That I mean
And that was
because
also like a basic chat about like celebrity crushes, but those were
mhm.
like the two big names mentioned.
Yeah, well, Sebastian Stan. Whoa.
Well,
Yeah. And then like I said and like that podcast episode is titled Everybody Has a Tom Hiddleston Moment. I don't care who you are. You've had it.
hmm
You've had the moment.
yeah. And then I mentioned I was still playing Val because I remember the tournament was at this
Oh
time.
yeah.
Barf. I can't. I literally put many exclamation points or question marks right after because I was just like,
Oh my god, wait, yeah, when was the last time you played Val?
the tournament.
Oh my god. So that was like that was like spring, no?
Uh, February, March.
Yeah, that's crazy. I think you silently retired. I didn't even realize.
Yeah,
You
that shit was
ghosted the
fucking yuck.
game. Yeah, agreed.
And then
Wow.
that was also another mention of Marvel Rivals going crazy.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
And then that's when you also told us about your dream that you had that you went to a party with Jess, like Gray's Eyed,
Oh my
and
god.
then
And I
you
dated
met
Chapel Roan.
Chaperone. Yes.
I forgot about that because we were
That
like, wait, wait, because I have this like awful. like fuzzy memory of us being on a boat.
You're on a barge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
why?
But no, it wasn't with Jess though, because you guys both got asked out on the date, but Jess didn't ghost. You guys were on the
Yeah.
barge watching the Northern Lights, and that was
Yeah,
it.
like
Yeah.
what kind of a fucking dream is that? Which, by the way,
And
I
then I
don't
don't know how
even.
we pivoted, but then we started talking about Kendrick Lamar at the Super Bowl. That was literally the end. I wish I
Wait.
was listening more because I was jumping around, obviously. So I wish I listened to how the pivot happened,
Oh
unless
my
you just said,
god.
anyways, and then pivoted.
Maybe, I
But
wonder if maybe we were talking about how we expect one day, because I wouldn't be shocked if this is where it went. I'm assuming at some point she's going to be a Super Bowl halftime performer.
Chaperone?
Yeah.
Probably.
I just don't think that there's any other way her career goes from here. Like her or Sabrina, or both.
Both would be kind of
Mm-hmm.
fire.
Yeah, I agree. But honestly, I until the one song where she's a handyman in the video, handy woman, handy gal, in in the music video, which I can't remember the name of it is, I haven't heard anything about Chapel Roan. Like I think she was like a top played artist for me up until like maybe March, and then I feel like I just kind of stopped.
That's fair. Now that you said something, I can't remember the last time I heard like a new Chaperone song being like, oh my God, have you
Hmm.
listened to this?
I feel like I can tell you my year in music because I was obsessed with, okay, full year Sabrina. I'll never stop. I love her so much. But beginning of the year, Sabrina and Chapel. Middle of the year, Sabrina and Bad Omens. End of the year, Sabrina and literally any song that sounds like I could get a speeding ticket to it.
Okay.
I I know that's very strange, but I've been playing a lot of racing games, so it's just the
That's very
music.
niche.
Yeah, the music in those games is like, oh, I'm going to get pulled over doing 35 over the limit.
I
Yeah.
love.
But that's funny that there's that much of a pivot in I mean, I guess I shouldn't be shocked, but it is funny and it is something that so my sister, I forgot to tell you this, so this is going to be fun. My sister while we were down south, she was like, "So your podcast popped up for me on YouTube?" And I was like,
Oh my
"Wait,
God, Bryn.
really?" And she said, "Yeah." And she goes, "So I listened to a few of them." And she goes, "I listened to all the astrology ones." And I was like, "Oh, okay, based."
Yes.
And because she said that she found a couple of them, and she was like, "These bitches better have done a Scorpio." And then she said, "And I found it, and you mentioned to me that I would be pissed if you didn't do it." And I was like, "Hell yeah." um,
Scorpio of
but
her.
then she said she's been going through. She was like, "I've been leaving comments and everything." So I went back, and she really has been leaving comments.
Oh my God, I love her.
Yeah, she's so
What?
funny. So then, but she was talking about, she's like, I like listening to you guys talk about stuff. And she goes, because it's kind of like, she's like, it really is one of those podcasts where you feel like you're in the room with the people podcasting because the conversations just branch off like crazy. And she's like, and it really is just like, it's like a conversation. And I was like, oh, I actually think that's a really big compliment.
I agree.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot. That's so sweet.
Mm-hmm.
I love when people chat and say like, "Oh, well, I listen to it on my drives or like in between my work days."
Mm-hmm.
I'm
I
like,
like
"Oh, you
the
just want to hang out?"
I have a couple of friends. So shout out if you're still listening to these. You remember Marco, my guy who helped us upload everything when I was
True.
backlogged.
A babe.
A babe. So shout out if you're still he's a YouTube Yanni. He only listens on YouTube. He does not do the live podcasting thing because he doesn't like Twitch. Why? I don't know. I don't get it. I think he's just not a stream person. I think he's just a
Mhm.
YouTube person. Um, but shout out to him because he texts me every time he listens to one of the podcasts and he gives me feedback on like, hey, you guys should really like consider talking about this and da da da. And I love you to death. I do, Marco. I promise. But most of them are not things I think that we would typically talk about. But it has led me to a couple ideas. Like he was the one who saw like the movies, the games. I don't have we done music yet? I don't think so, right? Um
In regards to what?
Like the music that made us, where we've done like the games that made us, the movies that made us.
Oh, no, I don't think we did.
Yeah, so but he was the one who suggested that we do books because he was like, because
Mm.
me and him used to trade books when I was in college. So he was like, oh, you guys should do like the books that like, developed your reading style or your reading taste or whatever. And I was like, actually, we've done a few like that, so that's a really good idea. So then when we talked about doing it, I was like, aha, I know it's already in demand. So I always like when people do that, when they're like, I would love to hear you guys talk about this. Because then if it's something that we are genuinely interested in, we can do that. Like we can, because one of the things he suggested was music business. And I was like, oh, I could talk about that all day. But Cap did not go to music business school. So that's not,
Nor we
that's
can
not
talk
really.
music though,
We
but
can
it's just not
totally
going to be
talk
like,
music business, but if we were going to do a music business episode, truthfully, I would either bring him or somebody else that I went to school on a week that you're not here. Like if it were to ever line up like that. That's
oh yeah,
probably what I would do rather than have us talk about it where it's basically me just yapping at your face about something you don't know much about.
that's fair.
Yeah.
Still interesting topic though.
Yeah, and I'm just glad to have people who are like, "Oh, I'd love to hear you do an episode on this," cuz like it makes my
Yeah, I
day.
like that a lot.
Yeah, it makes my day to hear that people want to hear us talking about stuff,
Yeah.
but it also just feels nice to like not have to come up with a
An
concept
idea
because
ourselves.
yeah.
Oh shit. Oh fuck. I don't know how this got brought up, but on the beginning of episode 3, oh, I remember. I was semi late to the podcast because my dad was watching TV in the other room, and I heard my favorite scene from My Cousin Vinny, and I texted Veda after I was late, and I said, "Oh my god, bitch, I'm so sorry. My dad was watching My Cousin Vinny, and it was at the judge scene where the girlfriend was on the trial and explaining
Mhm.
about the car and whatnot." And she was like, "Bitch, you're fine. I love that movie." And it was the funniest thing ever. And then it looks like this is the first time where you mentioned Nelson's. That's when you picked
Oh,
him up.
yeah.
And then you also went on this cute little tangent where you explained that you believe in the theory of your previous
Mhm.
dog picks your next dog.
Yeah,
And I loved
100%.
that one. I was got a little teared up because I was like, oh, Cashy
Oh.
boy.
But no, I really do that stays the same belief that I have because it felt like that in the moment, but it also feels like it now because Nelson has developed a habit of sleeping in the same spots that Cash did.
Aw.
And it makes me
That's really
cry.
cute.
Yeah, it makes me cry, but he falls asleep like in like 3 of the 4 same spots. And I think
Hmm.
it's crazy because one of them is obstructed. Like you can't get to that spot anymore because we rearranged the furniture after my
Yeah.
parents moved out, right? But what he does instead is he curls up like in the corner of where that spot once was, as if he wants to be there, but he can't. That's the closest he gets. So I tell my mom all the time, like, he is like, Cash has told him where the spots are in the house. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
That's so cute.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Yeah. I'm still considering getting like a banner made that just has like Cash on one side and Nelson on the other, and Cash is going to have a little halo.
That would be really cute. They make a lot
Mm-hmm.
of those on Etsy.
Yeah.
Hmm. Oh God, this is also the episode where you showed your Shadow Man cringy YouTube video.
It's not cringy,
So
it's funny.
there's
Oh,
that, but
the
then it was like
light.
you memorized stuff from it, and then we went off at a tangent where we
Yeah.
memorized random junk about like random goofy little songs, specifically one being the Hoodwink song,
Oh yeah.
the about
Did
the goat.
I?
Da-da, 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 literally. And then that's when I talked about my 2.0 debut. And then so we went on for a really good storyline of talking about your grandfather might have been able to have met Elvis Presley when he was out on deployment for the couple years he was
Oh
out.
yeah, because we just don't know how much of it is actually like factual.
Yeah, but that
Mm-hmm.
was really cool. I like that little history buff
Yeah.
right there. And then we also made the joke that you missed your shot with Joe Keery, and then that went into having a crush on Joe Keery, and then also went into a crush on having a crush on Sebastian Stan again.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
I
well,
can't
hand in
mention
hand, bitch.
I can't mention having crushes without talking about the longest crush of my life, okay?
Exactly. But I just love the Joe Keery bit is my favorite.
Yeah, any toe shippers?
Any toe shippers? Yeah, literally. Oh, episode 4. This is for Kika in chat. This was the big drop of the Star Guardian skinline lore. And then I did High Noon skinline, and then Chalky
Chalky
was our
did.
special guest doing the porcelain skinline.
Mm-hmm.
This also is the I don't even know the show up of when you said doo doo caca and
Yeah,
I
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
lost it.
I was dying laughing when I was going through the episodes because I looked at the Star Guardians one and that is immediately remember what I remember is me going, well, the fucking pictures on the League website are doo caca, and you guys just losing it.
I was just giggling,
Yeah.
and then I tried to contain myself, and then you continued because I was like, all right, I gotta be quiet. She's still telling us the story. And then I start laughing because I kept thinking about it, and it was so funny. I couldn't
Doo
help it.
caca.
It was just doo doo caca,
Yeah,
bro.
so funny. I hope League has since then fixed their freaking splash art photos.
I don't think so.
Why do you have some in such great quality and some in like not doo doo caca?
Because they're old.
It's
It's
so
an old ass game.
annoying. Anyways.
Episode 5 is after the long jump of April and May, so while you were gone. And then we, during that time, because you got sick, not saying blaming at all, but my favorite thing you always say about this is we lost 2 episodes to the void.
Yeah.
So we did. So unfortunately, there are 2 episodes right before she goes away for the hospital stay. There are 2 episodes that are, if you saw them, beautiful. If
Congratulations.
not,
Never again.
I don't know how to help you, and I think you might get blipped out or like have a Mandela effect
Dude, that's
because we don't
crazy.
have
We
anything.
actually have lost tapes, guys. We
Literally,
actually
there's
have
some from
lost
season one
episodes.
too.
We have lost episodes in the back rooms. Except I remember a couple of the ones from season 1 because one of them was Nat's, and that's
I
really
know.
upsetting to me. So we just
I
have to have
love
her
that
back
episode
on.
too.
Yeah, we just have
We
to have
do
her
have
back
to
on.
have her back.
Yeah.
Deal. Um. Oh, that's when we chatted a little bit about Nuna's book reading club, that we were reading her books and how good they are because they're so good. I don't know if anything else has come of that because the chats that we've been in are quite dead. So I
Mm-hmm.
don't know what's going on there. Kika visited for the F1
Mm-hmm.
movie, so that was awesome. During that time, we also saw a bunch of movies actually. We talked about Thunderbolts, which we also saw because I think there were either the same week or the following.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Sometime during there, we also hate watched Snow White, the new one, and the new Little Mermaid. So that was hilarious going back and talking about that shit.
Mm-hmm.
There was also around this time the announcement of Toy Story 5 and that
Oh,
it's being released next year.
you know what's crazy?
And what?
We're getting Toy Story 5.
Before GTA 6?
Yes.
Yeah. That GTA 6 was also mentioned, by the way.
Oh, excellent. Okay, so
Not
I'm
this,
just
not this episode,
well,
but we were it had brought up twice in the full year that GTA 6 has been
at
delayed.
least I'm not bitter about it.
True. um so this is also where we brought up Jurassic World Rebirth again, and that we have a really good lineup of movies because I remember this time we were saying like, oh, there's Jurassic World, there's The Conjuring, there's Wicked, there's Frankenstein. We're listing off movies because I have them all in my little
Hmm.
journal, which I think at the end of our summarizations, I'm gonna go back and see how many movies we watched. And that I also put at the end of this that we were ultimately let down by quite a few of them.
Hmm.
So that sucks, but it was technically a good lineup. Whether or not it happened to be good was a different story,
Hmm.
unfortunately.
You know what we should do near the end of the year next year is we should take
What?
a look at all of the movies that were hyped for. Like we should keep track of them. And at the end of the year, we should have like our year in movies where we go back about
Mm.
cuz for those of you who haven't caught on by now, one of our favorite things to do together is go see movies. That's
Yeah.
like the bonding experience that we all have in
But
our
people are
friend
like,
group.
well, you just sit in a room in the dark for 2 hours.
No,
Shut
this is
up.
literally my beach. We should talk movies that are bad the entire way through. And if they're good, we shut the fuck up and we look at each other and go, that was so cool, like some point in the movie.
We also do this thing where in our movie theater, there's a little hallway that leads out to where we need to go to our cars. We
Hmm.
always stand there and talk for an additional 30 minutes to an hour. We literally had to get kicked out of the theater last time because we stayed
Yeah.
too late.
Yeah, I still think that's so funny. We literally like we went and we were like, okay, Five Nights at Freddy's, let's go. And then
Hmm.
after the movie, we didn't even just talk about the movie. We were like, let's talk about
No.
movie, let's talk about life, let's talk about everything, da 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 da.
Hmm.
And then like at some point, then the staff comes around and goes, guys, we do have to close down. And we were like, okay, gotcha for sure. We stepped out
My
into the
bad, it was just really
freezing
cold.
fucking tundra and we went to our cars. Um, but yeah, it is like it's how I feel like it's how we really bond because it is something that we are both very passionate about is movies and
Hmm.
cinematography and scripting and everything that
Hmm.
goes into the industry. So it's like a nice way for us to be like, okay, fuck everything else for these next 2 hours. It is me and you in a theater with X amount of our closest friends watching a movie we've been hyped on. We're either going to
Literally.
leave and have so much shit to talk or we're going to have so many things to be hype about. So it's like,
Hmm.
and it's nice because we always give like our ratings afterwards. We're always like, okay, initial rating is XYZ. Let's talk about it.
Yeah. I like
So
that a lot.
yeah, me too. So I think it would be really fun if at the end of the year we take a look back at everything and we kind of like judge whether or not it was a good year for movies for us
Hmm.
by how many we were like impressed by slash disappointed by.
Well, I have the whole loadout already because I do my journal, my little year in review on like my planner thing.
Yeah.
I already booked out when movies are coming out, which ones I'm hyped for and whatnot. So
Hmm.
I already have them all planned. So we're good there. So we can just go based off of that and then put like thumbs up if good, thumbs down if bad
Hell
type
yeah.
beat. Or we could do, you know what? We could probably create our own tier list for it and
Oh
just
my
take
god.
the movie what are they called? Headers?
Yes.
Uh
I
Posters? The
have
movie posters.
I have a brilliant idea where what if we did our own like troll kind of joke meme wise award ceremony, movie awards.
Done.
Okay, well,
I'm in.
I'm gonna mark that down in our DMs so
I
that
was
we
gonna say
can.
pin that shit. We're only about halfway through now. On episode 6, that was our first Curiosity Corner. We did Killers in Media. Specifically, I did Hannibal Lecter because I finished watching Hannibal, the TV show. And then you did Dexter
Dexter.
from the show Dexter, but you
Mm-hmm.
also did it based on I think there was two other like sideline shows
Books.
with
Well,
it.
yeah. There's Dexter. There's 3 shows, and then Dexter's based off a book.
Yes, that.
Yeah,
And that was our first time doing the Curiosity Corner. So that was
which
really
is
neat. We
so
got to show off our little
crazy. You
logo.
guys will get more of that in 26. I promise.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We're definitely keeping that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Episode 7 was one of my faves. That is our movies that made us, our PowerPoint show off. I think
Beautiful.
our PowerPoints were beautifully made. Like going back and watching them, like, oh my god, we kind of ate that shit up.
Oh my god.
And so I just loved rewatching some of the ones that we were like chatting about, that we had some similar movies across.
Treasure
But
Planet.
also, true, true. This is when we shit on weapons.
Oh,
You
beautiful.
shit on weapons. I watched
Yes.
weapons later, and thus
Agreed
hearing
with
you
that.
talk about it beforehand and not knowing exactly what you're talking
Hmm.
about, then now knowing what happened is so stupid. So bad.
Oh my
Oh
god, I
shit.
love
This was
it.
also the same month that Marvel released the the director chairs for Doomsday,
Oh
and
yeah.
upon doing so, spoiled so much about it. And now,
Hmm.
if you haven't already seen, though I suggest you don't,
The
there,
teasers.
yes, there are teasers, plural, for each of the organizations coming into Doomsday. So, like, there was all
Captain
the
America,
original Captain America, Thor,
Thor, X-Men.
um, X-Men came out, and who's the other original
Mm,
six? Hawkeye?
Well, the original six is Hawkeye, Thor, Cap. Well, Tony and Nat are gone.
Oh, and Hulk.
Hulk.
That's what I was thinking of. There, I think the original like six, obviously skipping out on Tony and Nat, is that they're supposed to get teasers because obviously most of them are gonna die
Oh yeah.
to move off for the next
Yep.
series. But basically, I'm trying to avoid it. I've only seen the the Thor and Captain America one, but very briefly. I think they're spoiling too much, and I think they need to shut up. And then
Um
we also went on a rant of how Disney is kind of like ruining shit.
oh, for sure. Yeah. That's why I'm kind of glad that they're like nexting the MCU in 27. Like honestly, I'm kind of welcoming it now because I just think that I think the the Russo brothers know that if they continue, this is just going to get to the point of we're releasing them for the sake of releasing them.
Yeah.
And so I think I welcome the hard reset in 2027. Whether or not they decide to restart from scratch and make like a new MCU, I don't care. But this one, the story's done.
Yeah. I think if they're gonna wipe the clean slate in 27 after Secret Wars, I think they need to dive into lesser known Marvel comic characters,
Agreed.
or on the flip side, they should do villain stories. And I've been preaching this to Disney forever. I think we need more villain stories because, like, Maleficent was one of the very first, like, obviously live action
Hmm.
flip sides of Aurora for
Yes.
Sleeping Beauty, and it did beautiful. Like, beautiful work, beautiful story, and even the second one didn't even do that bad in box.
Well,
So,
and I think that there's
I
so
hate
many
that we're
ways
getting
like
Gaston right now
because
too.
here's my thing is that if X-Men hadn't been beaten into the ground already, because I feel like when they came back out with the new wave of
Oh, the
X-Men,
first
like
wave, the first
yeah,
class stuff. Yeah,
because here's the thing is I love James McAvoy. I do.
I do.
I do. And I love Michael Fassbender. I do.
True, smash that
Um
man.
if you
Beautiful.
had given me because my favorite parts of those movies and it was a hard thing to find favorite parts of some of those. But my favorite parts were when we got to see why Magneto is the way he is.
Yeah,
I would have killed to see X-Men strictly from Magneto's point of view. Give me the House of M. Give me that. That is what I want. But we don't go down that storyline. And why not? We introduced Madripoor. We could do House of M. That would be so easy to pull off now. We've got it in the universe now. Nothing. No plans, nothing. So
yeah,
I would have loved to have seen that. So I agree with you. I think from the perspective of villains, it could be really fun. Like show me like Venom was great cuz Venom is technically he's a villain but he's an anti-hero type of thing whatever. But like
hmm,
those movies were really fun because we're seeing the dude who's supposed to fuck everything up. Like
yeah.
that's like really nice.
That's why I'm really hoping that also with James Gunn taking over DC, debatable on taking over because Supergirl's coming out next year and it's not directed by him. But anyways, um I have heard that he is looking to dive into DC villains. So the first one he got um the oh my god, the permission to make is Clayface. And Clayface has a terrible backstory. Terrible as in like good writing, horrible like thing that happened to the guy to make him Clayface.
Mm-hmm.
So he's gotten permission to make it a rated R film if he needs. So I'm super excited
Ooh.
about that. And he's looking to dive into like Mr. Freeze, obviously the Riddler. Joker has not been listed, but I just feel like if DC is getting permission to jump into their villains, there's a lot of very good villains in Marvel that you could totally dive into. For example, I think that's why I love the original Tobey Maguire Spider-Man,
Mm-hmm.
because you got to see all of those villains and like
Yeah.
why they did the thing that they did. Because like Doc Ock, Spider-Man 2 is my favorite
Yeah.
by far.
I also, there is a part of me that feels like maybe if we had just gotten like a little more of like the villainous stuff in Marvel, because I feel like a lot of the time the villains that they show are either like, I mean, okay, if you think about like Thor, the villain sometimes, and even stretching into the Avengers, right, is Loki, who we
Yeah.
know isn't a bad dude, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
you have Thanos, who arguably isn't exactly thinking illogically. He's just very psychotic about his logic.
Yeah, he's
Um,
taking it too literal in a logical sense. It
yes.
makes sense, but
Yes.
it's not good.
And then you have Ultron, who, I mean, let's be honest, is just incapable of understanding humanity. And
Yeah.
so like you like they give us these villains that almost make too much sense. Like give me an Avengers villain, because like even when you look at like Civil War, right? The villain was Zemo. Zemo is 100% justified in his anger. It makes it
Mm-hmm.
really hard to feel like anything was brought to justice, because you're just like, well, I mean, but the dude makes sense. Like, you know? And so like if they could have just given us a little bit more of like a villain who is just a villain and we just gotta stop him. I think if we had seen more of that, I would have been like very chill. Because then, you know, big bad of multiverse, right? Scarlet Witch, who we have spent a decade loving. So obviously, we're not gonna want the villain to be, you know, obliterated, or like we want like I am sick of having sympathy for the villain. That's really what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sick of feeling somewhat sympathetic for the villain.
Yeah, that's fair. Ugh, I'm just a villain lover. Okay, I
Yeah,
just
me
want more
too.
villain movies.
Yeah, it's so fair.
um, that jumps over to episode 8. That's when I believe roughly when you joined our D&D campaigns. We were talking about that a whole
Yeah.
bunch. And then that also transitioned to us doing, I believe, another Curiosity Corner where we did the I Survive stories, where we
Loved
both
it.
covered a 15-year-old, two separate ones,
Yeah.
and how they survived almost being murdered. And then quickly at the end there, we briefly talked about would we be able to survive a killer ourselves?
Mm-hmm. Which,
No,
no.
no.
I,
Mine literally cut off her, like, had her arms cut off, and she climbed a cliff face and waved down a minivan, all the while bleeding out. I would have died.
mm.
Even with the amount of adrenaline that could probably be coursing through my veins, I think I would go into shock and die.
Which, which one did I know I had a few that were favored. Did I cover the one about the girl who used reverse psychology?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And had him call an ambulance for
Yeah.
her.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
they're like on the phone. Dude, I never showed you
I
that
think I could do
call.
that.
Wait, did I show you the call?
The movie, The Call?
No, did I show you like the call? Because they have it
Oh,
recorded.
I don't know. I
Oh,
don't think
okay.
so.
Remind me. I will do that after this podcast. I'll post it for you
All
guys
right,
in
bet.
on topic discussion as well.
Bet. Um, episode 9 has us talking about the reappearance of boom, boom,
Boom, boom,
boom, but
boom.
also the fucking cat one, the cat story off of there.
Oh, where the cats are.
Oopsie.
Yeah. We
Yes,
have
the black cats.
we have okay, so it's funny that you mentioned that. Can I share with you what's currently going on in my neighborhood app?
Yes.
Okay, so the cats, right? Sorry. Um somebody posted like maybe 2 days ago. Can somebody help me find my cat? And it's a picture, and it is a black cat. And so everybody is now sharing their personal experiences with this cat, but it is so funny because one guy's like, "Yeah, I've seen him. He crashed my fucking car." And like so everyone's coming up with these ridiculous. It's like this cat's been ding dong ditching my door for the last 6 years. Like everyone's just making up these incredible stories.
That's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
But they have found their cat, by the way. They're not trolling them because they're awful people. They're trolling them because 5 minutes later they were like, "Oh, never mind, we found the cat," and they just didn't take down their original post.
Oh, good, good, good. Oh shit. This is also the day, the time
Oh
you
no.
got your colonoscopy.
You mean my
We were
my
talking
September
about your
11th
fucking
colonoscopy?
yes, and that you had to drink all that liquid stuff.
Bro, oh god. Great
And that
detox, but
you ranted off about F1 racing at that time. I don't know specifically what was going on during then.
what
Um
when would this have been? Like what episode
this would
was
have been
that?
around 9/11.
Oh yeah, you're right.
So
Oh,
around there.
I think it was probably during the middle of the season. It was looking really rough because McLaren
I
was
knew it
just
was
gonna take
oh
it.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, which by the way, spoiler alert for anybody who hasn't seen Lando Norris posting about it left and right. Lando took the world championship, and I am, eh,
Mm.
I'm not as upset as I was going to be.
Well, good.
Yeah. It was kind of it
Okay.
was a roller coaster of a year because McLaren was so dominant that I really wanted anybody else to win. And then Max Verstappen came back and overturned a 104-point deficit, which I promise you was really impressive. And so then the last race was a decider between three potential winners. So I was less upset because then at least it was like a fun fight. I mean, it was a boring ass race, but it was a fun fight for the end of the season.
Mhm. Well, hell yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
This is also when we had our COVID shutdown stories during like the peak of 2020.
Oh, hell
And
yeah.
this also translated to you telling the story about the placebo effect, where that came from, and
Yes.
the whole travel of you and Wexy
To
going to
Niagara
Niagara
Falls.
Falls.
Yeah.
So that was a great story. The deer one was still probably my favorite part of it.
Well, yeah, because literally, okay, so this is a PSA to anybody. Don't pray to God for anything because he will send you a deer and it will fuck up your car.
True, don't do that. um Then going into episode 10, we were talking about the new Conjuring movie, what we thought about it, all that jazz. And then F1 racing brought up again, but in a sad note though. This was when you were mentioning about one of that one racer who lost his dog.
Oh, Lewis Hamilton. Oh God, my heart. He just unveiled his helmet and it's like it's in memoriam of his dog.
I remember during this time you're like, I hope he gets a helmet for it.
Yeah,
And I'm really
I'm
glad
glad
that
that he
that worked
did.
out.
Me
That's really
too.
cute.
Because I kind of had a feeling that he was going to do it. I mean, it kind of makes sense to commemorate like I mean, Roscoe was like the dog of F1 for a really long time. So it would feel
Mhm.
really wrong if he wasn't, memorialized in some way in the race, like in on the car, on the helmet, whatever it was. So I'm really glad the helmet's really pretty and it's a good homage to Roscoe.
Oh, I love that.
Mhm.
Um, this is when we went really hardcore into talking about D&D for a second. We were
Hell
gassing up
yeah.
Rep, and then we talking about Grubs in our first campaign that we played together, and we just love his storytelling so much, and we love Rep's ability to like weave in the storylines of our
Backstories.
characters
Mhm.
into the campaign itself. And then we randomly jumped into Duolingo, and this is where the quote of "Kiss me in High Valerian" came.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And then we also I didn't remember this, but we did also talk about like where we would tour around Europe if we were to go.
Oh, bitch, I'll go
So,
anywhere. But I mean, like, Italy, please.
yeah, and then I also said I wanted to go like through all of them. I wanted to like visit Italy for this, Germany
Hmm.
for this, Poland for this,
Yeah.
Denmark for this. all that jazz.
Yeah.
And so I just left the ending. It was like, well, who would I talk to in High Valyrian? Me, biz, kiss me.
So good.
It was so good.
That's so good. Yeah. Okay. Well, stay tuned for the Curiosity Cove European tour.
Vlog. Episode 11 jumped in to I don't know if this was specifically around where I had my accidental sleep in past D&D time, but we did talk about are we able to take a short nap versus a long nap, and then
Mm,
we shared stories of um oversleeping on
yeah.
accident
This is
and
where I
then your
mentioned that
ability to
every
sleep everywhere.
Yeah, this is where I mentioned I was telling Bobby about this earlier because we were talking about how both of us can fall asleep anywhere. I was like, yeah, I've fallen asleep at an EDM show, and he's like, no, I must fall asleep at an EDM show. It was like I must prove
Mhm.
to myself that I can do it. But yeah, I remember that one because I remember sharing about how I have this incredible ability to fall asleep on a Friday night and wake up on a Sunday sometimes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's insane. I could
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
um Oh, this is where I started mentioning my mental was slipping with the whole move and whatnot, and that adulting's
Mm.
really hard.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is where you were flabbergasted that I randomly decided to do a 72-hour fast.
Oh yeah. I'm still flabbergasted that you decided to do a 3-day fast. Are you crazy?
Oh, I don't know, I just did it. I
I
had like a really
think
bad tummy ache from having Domino's like 2 nights prior and it wasn't sitting right. So I was like, let me just do a reset, I guess. And I wasn't really feeling like hungry. Honestly, at this point, I think it was just me being low-key depressed.
yeah.
But I think me being proud of doing it overshadowed the sadness that might have caused it in the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
and it did reset my tummy, so that made me feel a lot better. But I
Mm-hmm.
don't know if it was the smartest idea because all I had was Epi juice for 3 days.
I mean, happy juice do go hard,
W
but
choice, I
yeah,
agree.
yeah. W choice. However, I don't. I just don't think I could do it. I think I could do a 3-day fast, but I would have to sleep through a lot of it.
Yeah, that was also when I realized that a lot of time is quote unquote wasted with eating. Like, cause I'm one of those people who like, if I have nothing to do, sometimes I just like have to do something with my hands or like to eat something, and like so I'll pick like a snack or like I'll have my water next to me
Mm-hmm.
or like go grab like random bits of candy here and there, and so much of it with not having the ability to do so, I had so much time on my hand and then I ended up getting more bored.
Yeah.
So like it's so weird, it's such a double-edged sword for sure.
That's one of the reasons I really like meal prepping, which yeah, is like a I don't know. It makes it feel like there's a lot more time, but it is because you're doing all of it together. So like
Yeah.
technically you're saving time, but also like you're setting aside a whole chunk of time to do it. So like in the long run, it probably saves you like in a week, it probably saves you maybe like 2 hours.
Oh yeah,
So,
100%.
but hey, sometimes that 2 hours is really valuable. So,
I agree.
yeah.
Yeah, I figured out a lot of that shit during the
Yeah.
fast. Episode 12 was Halloween night where we decided to
Candy
talk
tier
about horror
list.
movies.
Yeah.
True. Which is when I told you that me and Tank watched Hereditary and Midsommar.
Yeah,
So we
yeah,
talked
yeah.
about that and that we need to watch. I need to put Midsommar on our list because we have
Oh,
to
hell
watch that
yeah.
together. Reminiscing about the Saw movies and how
Mm.
you kind of like got me into watching horror movies for
Mm-hmm.
the fun of it, not for the like scare and gore factor.
Right.
And that you said it was like a pillar of our friendship. And then we talked about horror movies for quite a bit.
Yeah.
And then we did the ranking top Halloween candies. And in here I put grandma's purse for just I littered fuck bit of honey.
I tell people about that. I was talking about it. I don't know if I ever shared this with you, But after we did that, I went to work and I showed my coworker the tier list. I was like, "Do you agree with this?" And she looked at it and she said, "Oh, bit of honey." And I was like, "Right? Right. Right. I'm so vindicated."
Fuck bit of honey,
For
bro.
real.
I can't believe that. That
Oh
made me laugh
shit.
so
That
hard.
tier list has to be one of my favorite things. We've got to do more tier lists.
We
We
do. I
absolutely have
think that
to.
one just hit home because the I littered part, I didn't even mean for it to come out like that, but it was literally like I littered. Like I felt guilty saying
No,
it,
but
but
it
then you
was
agreed
so.
and I felt
Whoa.
justified. Especially justified over the piece of shit candy that we were littering.
Correct. Yeah. Well, and it was like,
Yeah.
it's also one of those things where it's like, there really were degrees to it. Oh
Yes,
my
and we kept
God.
having to add lists because or tiers, excuse me, because it could not fit anywhere else. So we do really need to
Yeah.
figure out where
Yeah.
like another one we could do.
Yeah. We'll have to sit there and brainstorm it because I think it would be a lot of fun to continue to do them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Episode 13 was both of us complaining about work. I didn't write any specifics, but we did. And then this was when we read our favorite creepypastas, which is where I complained why mine, the Soviet sleep experiment, was
Mm-hmm.
not real. It was all a fucking farce.
Yes.
And that we both said cave divers are
Are
weird.
crazy. They're, yeah. I just,
Yes.
cave divers are, listen, as somebody who does like my fair share of cave exploration, I think splunking takes loose nuts.
Yes. But also, you
Big
have to be
balls.
semi insane
Yeah. Big balls
to
and
put
loose
yourself in
nuts and bolts.
big balls, small holes.
Yeah. For
Oh,
Okay, hold on. Let me write that down.
fuck, that's gonna be the title.
Yeah. Year in review. Big balls and small holes. Oh,
Year in
shit.
review, colon, big balls, small
Yeah.
holes.
Okay. Oh yeah, the creepypasta one was fun. I know I remember foregoing my one because Ted the Caver was a lot since because I feel like when I read it to myself, I was like, oh, slay, this is only like an hour read, which is like, okay, maybe I won't do my second one. But then
Mhm.
with the amount of times that we stop to talk about how fucking insane they are for
Yeah,
doing all
yeah,
of it,
yeah.
it just got so long. So I do still have a couple on deck that we could do a second episode with. So maybe when spoopy time comes around next year, we can have a
Oh,
repeat
hell
or
yeah.
something. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Episode 14 was when my Frankenstein obsession was in
Oh,
full
hell yeah.
swing. And that was roughly around the time where I also showed you and Tomo it, which then we
Mm-hmm.
went on to a tangent of talking about color theory, which we both
Mm-hmm.
love in movies. So that was really big. We also watched Wicked after this part as well. So that was when we started comparing, contrasting Wicked Part 1 and Part 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is also when the first volume of season 5 for Stranger Things came out.
Oh, but
So that was us also gushing about the fourth episode,
God, so good.
which we can actually expand on this. Not doing any spoilers on the volume 2 for season 5, but keeping it loose, there are a lot of plot holes that both me and Veda, who we are seeing the finale in theaters this upcoming Thursday. So the next episode, actually the first episode of season 3 of Curiosity Cove, will be talking about what went down in the finale and all that jazz.
And you
So
guys will
preemptive
have
spoilers.
plenty of time to watch it. So watch
Yeah.
that bitch because the first episode will be on the 13th of January. You've got 2 weeks ish
Yeah.
to watch that bitch so that we can
And
all
we're
gush about it
really
together.
nervous.
Yes.
There's
I,
a lot of plot holes not talked about, not
yeah.
explained very well. And this next episode, I'm going to look up right now while we're talking how long it is.
I think it's 2 hours, no? I'm
Um,
pretty sure. But yeah, I still think the like semi prediction that I gave you in DMs, I still think that that's I just don't see how it doesn't end that way. It's either
Yeah, it's 2 hours and 8 minutes. That's not even, I mean, it's the length of a movie, but I just don't see how in 2 hours they are going to wrap up every plot hole
everything.
that they
Yeah.
have and also kill people. Like
Yeah.
I swear to God, I
If no
don't wish
one
this on any of the
dies,
main characters, but some of them need to
I
die.
know. No, if nobody dies, I actually might be a like a an upset bean. I do feel like
Yeah.
maybe I'll save this, but I don't want to spoil too much by talking about my predictions because I don't want to make it seem like they lead us towards this. They are not implying that anyone is going to die. They are implying that anybody could, like that nobody's
Yeah.
safe, really. Basically, that's how this season has been so far.
Mhm.
Therefore, I just feel like from start all the way up until now, I have remained true. I think either Steve is going to die, I think that Nancy is going to die, or I think that Elle is going to die. That has been my prediction the last 2.5 years. That has not changed. They just, those three make the most sense to me. And I think
My
it's just
main
because,
prediction that Steve is dying still remains true.
yeah, I think that out of everybody, Steve is the easiest to kill off of the kids ish.
He doesn't have any ties.
Yep. Yep.
Mhm.
So I could see it. Now, the most impactful would be probably killing off Dustin.
Yeah.
I
But
think,
then there goes our thing that if Dustin dies, then Steve dies.
yeah, exactly. So there's a part of me that feels like the two of them may go because the if you die, I die thing could
Yeah.
be last words. That's all I'm saying. And
Yeah.
so there's a part of me that is scared. There's also a part of me, I won't lie to you. Somebody mentioned this and they were like, "LOL, what if we lost?" And I was like, "Damn. What if we did?"
Like the whole thing is just like
Yeah, what if everyone
Vecna
dies?
wins.
What if Vecna wins? What if we all die in the show? You know, like what if that actually happens? I don't there's
Then I
no
think they did poor writing.
there's no world in which I think it happens, but it's so seldom that the heroes don't win. I think if they do it right, I'd be okay with it.
If they do it right, I'm okay with it. I agree with that statement. But
Yeah.
if they did it wrong or not in an honorable way, then I think those kid actors that spent 10 years doing this
Got
wasted their time.
shafted. Yeah.
Yes. I think that's the biggest downfall that could happen for them. And I wouldn't even be mad as a viewer. I would be mad for them.
Yeah. I agree.
Hmm.
But
Well,
yeah, somebody brought that up. I was like, I don't know if I see it happening, but if it did, that would be wild. And I mean, like, because we're talking, that's the potential to be like Game of Thrones upsetting.
they're kind of leading up to it, dude. With this buildup of volume 2, I'm seeing it.
Do you know how upset I am? I don't, did you see like the official critic ratings? Like they released so the same group of people since the beginning of Stranger Things have been rating the episodes and like finding the average between their ratings. And the
Shut up.
first volume was doing real great. Like it was like a 9.5 out of 10 for episode 4. And this
Okay.
second volume, lowest episodes ever rated.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So I think everybody's kind of on the same page where it's like you started really strong with those first 4 episodes, and I mean really strong. So the second 3 is a little concerning. Let's maybe
Mhm.
bring it back. Like I'm kind of hoping it's a roller coaster where it's like that was the initial drop and now we're us on the upswing again and we're going to have a
Yeah.
big drop in the final episode.
Yeah. Well, they better.
Yeah.
That's all I'm leaving them
Agreed.
as. So then our last episode, which happened 2 weeks ago, that was us talking about old Christmas movies. This was also the time where we talked about books turned into video games or books turned into movies or also TV shows,
Mhm.
which then also spiraled to us talking about the MCU again and like that whole issue, which
Yeah.
we also have a lot of opinions on it, so that's totally fair. And then
Mm.
this is when you quote said, bring your money to the Curiosity Cove Scholastic Book Fair and an extra 21 cents to make sure you get that bookmark so you don't bring any cents home to your parents. And that's when we also tangented it for a while at the end when I remembered that this is supposed to be a book talk, that we were not talking technically about books the whole time. And we spent the last, I think, 20 minutes talking about books when we were younger and how we should get them now to see if they still hold true.
Yeah, I think that we should do an
And I
episode.
still agree to that.
I think that we should do an episode called Book Club, and we should both read a book that we loved when we were younger, and we can talk about them.
Deal.
I'll put it in our DMs.
Edit your fucking DMs and
Yep.
yep. And that was Curiosity Cove 2025.
Hell yeah.
Holy wow.
Yeah, I feel like even though we only had 15 episodes this year, as opposed to our 30-something season 1, I feel like we still talked about a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I definitely feel like, I think it's also kind of nice because the first season, this is a behind the scenes tidbit for you guys, we were a little concerned about like the time constraint that we had put on the podcast versus this season. It was kind of like, oh, we can let it go for a bit. We don't have to worry about it. So some episodes are longer and that's okay with us right now. So it's great.
Mm-hmm. I loved it a lot.
It was a great year.
It was pretty good.
It was an excellent one. Another good one for the books, and I think a lot to look forward to next year.
Yeah. I'm super excited to see what 2026 is going to bring for the reasons we stated before, that it's just got to be better than 2025. And I think we set a pretty decent bar, and I'm excited for that.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Perfect. Well, we will see you guys in the new year, and I hope you guys enjoyed listening, watching, hanging out with the podcast as much as we loved hanging out with you guys.
If you have New Year's plans, please make sure that
be
you
safe.
Be safe, be responsible, and have fun.
Yeah. And one last time to end the year. Remember, Coveys,
keep it real, but keep it curious. Goodbye.
Wishing that you make up your mind.